Hello everyone, this is Zach here. All right, we'd like to do a quick sound check, please. Hopefully my sound and screen is okay. All right, so we're going to do, again, the purpose I'm doing this section here today, right? Just want to do a quick section on overall review, okay, for the KRSC. So, well, I think last week we have a very good closing on last Friday. Of course, last Friday, we do have some minor pullback in the KRC overall market, but I think it is pretty healthy, and it gives us some opportunity, okay, to look for some counters that are coming with very strong and healthy type pullback. Now, against like what I always do, I like to look into the overall KRC chart. So this is the KRC chart here. Okay, we zoom into the past 3 months ago, and if you notice previously, yes, we do have here. This is the one that actually make us a little bit of panic at the time. Okay, so the time I think early of November, they still talk about the G15, the things to keep going on. Okay, but luckily it holds very well in this level over here, and turning back to green pentagon, and this is what we call the pullback. Okay, so this is the area of pullback after they're making a double bottom reversal. Okay, so again, first good sign. Now the second thing is that if you notice over here, they actually make a green pentagon, and the next day it make a gap up. Okay, now we are looking into the overall KRC chart right now. Okay, so this gap up over here serve as a strong support, and of course, well, it actually dropped a little bit. Okay, but luckily they're pushing it back again. Okay, or back to this with a very strong candles. Okay, with line change, and yes, we do have like 2 bar, very narrow, and the volume is kind of like average. Okay, so for me, at the moment, still like very healthy. Okay, again, I'm not sure whether it will continue to make pullbacks or not, but I think the pullback is good in this kind of timing. So for those that who know, right, I think Rakuten early of November, October, I can recall, right, they says that they KRSC likely got chance, okay, to hit 1580, okay, after the G15, after everything stable. Okay, so while we still got 80 points, okay, we never know. I think the time that Rakuten mentioned about 1580 is somewhere around this area, the time is still 13 something. Okay, it seems like still very far away, but we currently at 1500 level, right? Very close with 1500 levels. Okay, so we still got around like 100 points to hit 1580. So hopefully we can achieve that. Okay, so here another gap. Remember that I mentioned that always look into the gap, because gap is the one that actually caused some resistance, but it looks like this gap over here also, they actually break already. Okay, notice here, this is the gap area. So gap area usually is like a seller area, right? So looks like these 2 days, again closing on the Thursday, Friday, they're still like holding very well. Okay, so for me looks good overall. Okay, now again, if my sound's coming okay, my screen is okay, appreciate if you can type a 1 for me. Okay, appreciate if you can type 1 for me. So let's say KRC markets, I think, yes, they do have lots of nice pullbacks going on, which is, you can focus and monitor. Now, for members, I think Friday, if I'm mistaken, I do send a list there. Most of the lists actually come from pullback setups. Okay, most of patterns is come from pullbacks that we can actually refer to a list. Now, today, this section here, probably just going to look into these 5 counters. Okay, well, I think easily we got like around 20 over counters, okay, that having a very nice setups. Okay, but again today, unfortunately, I don't have time to go through, but we will study these 5 counters, and if you got any chart, you just let me know. Okay, we can study together too. Now, today we're gonna purely focus first on pullback. Okay, so pullback, right? So for pullback, we want to look into the 18 LC screener, okay, or maybe the Pentagon screener. Then we look into a nice pullback 1 or 2 days later on. Okay, so this is what we do. Okay, again, if you're not sure what you should do on how to look for pullback setups, okay, remember, go back to the weekly member training, okay, the one we conducted last month. Okay, so this is some of the things that I do share, okay, the step-by-step how to look for pullback. Now, shaker is another things that I haven't really shared yet, because supposing I think I covered already, okay, the 2 weeks back, okay, on the weekly member training on Monday. So again, going back to the member trainings, okay, remember to familiarize the shakeout patterns, because recently lots of counters doing shakeout. Okay, I think like KGB doing a shakeout, Evergreen, I'm not sure, but I don't think so. Okay, for Evergreen. Yes, Ogabai doing a shakeout, SWS Cap doing a shakeout. Okay, again, lots of counters doing shakeout. Okay, this is only the 5 examples I share with you later on. Now, the other one that's slowly coming back is NS. Okay, recently, lots of nice NS setups. Okay, I don't really share NS because lately I'm focusing pullback and shakeout. Okay, but slowly I'm going back into NS. Now, if you realize, lots of the tech counters having a nice NS signals. Okay, I think it's like, okay, maybe we can go that later on, okay, if I got time. So these 3 things, okay, focus these 3 things. Okay, now easy one, okay, if let's say you're a beginner, okay, if you are new members, if you just join us, or maybe you're new in trading, technical analysis, or spread analysis, you're not sure, okay, what is pullback with shakeout, you go for NS, okay, because NS is the easiest one. Okay, so I put it B, okay, beginner. Now, if you are more so-called advanced already, you know about the basic of technical analysis, one spread analysis, okay, you go for pullback and shakeout. Okay, I put it A as, you know, what it means by advanced. Okay, so depending on which one you feel more comfortable, if you think that, yeah, I still not sure what is pullback or shakeout, you go for NS. Okay, now any members here, please type a A for me, please. If you are here, type a A for me, because I want to see, you know, who is joining and whether, you know, how a new member is joining or not. Okay, if you are new members, okay, again, let me know. Okay, so again, very important. Okay, you don't try to force yourself to look for every single trades. Okay, because sometimes some setups probably is not that obvious. Okay, probably need some practice, okay, to look for it. So the easiest one, go for NS, and which I think is that currently lots of NS, yes, they give you a very nice so-called setups, okay, for you to look for. Okay, yep, Kenneth, right? Thank you, Kenneth. So okay, now let's look into here overall. We're going to again, screener, you can look into it. Now we look into the 5 counters. Pentax anyway is one of the counters that I'm monitoring too. Okay, yeah, Nick, all right, thank you for joining. So first we go to sorry, what's my first counter? KGB. Now, among all, okay, 20 over counters that I have with me, KGB is one of my favorites. Okay, KGB is one of my favorites. Okay, again, do remember, in this section here, I'm not doing any buy call. Okay, if you want to enter any trades that we discussed from today, make sure you got your own trading plan. Okay, you can get advice from a professional. You know, I'm not. I do have losses. Okay, I think members, you know, I've got losses. So please don't follow blindly. Okay, all right. Thank you, Yo, for joining. Now, if you look into KGB, one thing I like about KGB is that they're actually having a shakeout in the background. Okay, so like I said, shakeout doesn't guarantee you breakout, but breakout most of the time come with shakeout. Okay, so if you look closely for KGB counters, okay, over here, shakeout, breakout. Okay, and if you notice, Friday, okay, volume extremely low, extremely quiet, extremely narrow. Okay, now if you switch to hourly chart, can anyone tell me what is this? Okay, what is this in hourly chart? Okay, remember, you should know, you should know about this, because I do cover this a lot, okay, in the weekly member training. Okay, you should know about this. Okay, so which is, you know, it make me you know, one of the favorite counters, okay, among all my lists over there. So that's why I need to cover this today. Okay, so this is first one, KGB. Okay, KGB. So okay, now if you look into overall tech sectors, okay, tech counters, okay, they actually also come with this kind of shakeout, okay, which I think is that is very important for you to focus. Now, all my counters I didn't add into my list here, but again, this is one of my favorite also recently, is FPI. Okay, I think I shared to the members group also, this FPI counters. Now, FPI also, if you notice here, NS line change. Okay, so whenever you see line change high volume and the area come with NS, technically that is the area to build a support. Yes, correct. Kenneth, Nick, Chris, thank you. Right, that is the COC. Okay. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. So 4 things. Okay, sorry, I need to go back here. Okay, for members, lots of things to look into. Okay, first we got pullback. Okay, second we got shakeout. This is for advanced, like I said, for advanced member. And as for beginner, okay, and COC. COC, I think it can mix from beginner to advanced. Intermediate, I think is okay because COC is obvious. Okay, but most important, you know how to recognize the daily chart. Okay, now FPI, one of my favorite, I think I share into the I can't recall I shared to the notice board, I shared to the 100 days challenge. Okay, I think I shared into 100 day challenge. Okay, so here, shakeout. Okay, again, line change NS. Yep, here we got some uptrust, so it's normal for them to do shakeout. Here, break, successful retest, volume, look into the volume. Okay, great volume. Okay, and nice pullback for FPI. Okay, so again, this is some of the ways that we read the chart. Okay, read the chart. Again, all this have been covered in weekly member training. So for members, please go back to the video tutorial again. Okay, so here, same things. Okay, so previously here, we also got the same things. Okay, so the bar is very narrow. The volume just dries up. I kind of like the volume how it dries up. Okay, now if you want to have a better confirmation, okay, if you still feel that not sure, want to enter or not, hourly green pentagon will helps in this case. Okay, yes, sometimes I do admit sometimes green pentagon hourly chart, you might miss the 3-4%, but at least it gives you better confirmation. The trend is going up. Okay, the trend is going up. Okay, so you can do that. Okay, you can do that. So, but if you look into this hourly chart here, I don't know, I feel good at the moment. Okay, so now let's go to the second one. Again, I put it in 6 FPI. FPI is one of my favorite, to be frank with you. Okay, so evergreen also, okay, one of my favorite, but again, sometimes okay, now this is some of the things that especially for new member you have to consider, right? Okay, now not all counters, yes, even though tomorrow I got 20 over counters to monitor, but of course I don't really enter all the 20 counters. Okay, few things, my capital is limited. Okay, I don't have unlimited funds to enter the 20 counters. The second thing for me is very important for you to consider is that your portfolios. Okay, I think I also mentioned this in our past weekly or money training before that. So your portfolio is very important in this case, right? Most of the time we encourage members to have 6 counters. Of course, we want to split and equals among these 6 counters, but doesn't mean that you have to 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, and 10. Okay, sometimes can be this one may be 8, this one may be 11, this one may be 13, this one may be 9. I think it's fine. Okay, so you need to be this one have to be 10, right? But some members I saw is that their portfolio is like this. Okay, 1 counters is already 50K. Okay, the rest of the counter is 2K, 2K, 3K, 4K. Now this is very unbalanced and unhealthy. Okay, now very important, right? Now the second thing is that I want you to focus is the sectors you are putting into your portfolio. Okay, so like for example, I already got some metal counters. Okay, then I avoid metal counters even though the setup is good. Okay, maybe I look for something that is different like wood, okay, evergreen, or maybe technology to add into my portfolio. Okay, because all this it will follow the overall sectors, right? If let's say the sector drop, it will drop also. Okay, or probably I'm looking into plantation. Okay, Jatiasa. Okay, I think it's not bad too. Okay, now let's look into here. The second one is evergreen. So do you remember the list that I shared up? Doesn't mean that you can enter everything. Okay, you have to look into your portfolio, which one suit you the most. Okay, which one suit you the most. Okay, now evergreen for me also kind of like it overall. Okay, so here now if you look into the background actually is still a bit weak. Okay, so that's why it's good for short-term trading. Okay, it's good for short-term trading. Now this one, unlike FPI, they already have some sort of like confirmation or accumulation in the background. Evergreen for me still about 50-50. But one thing good about FPI, okay, again for members, I want you to watch this very, very closely. This is some of the so-called information or maybe some of the things that we share. Okay, but you just need to combine all together, right? So first of all, if you notice, right, this evergreen here is still trading below the previous support. Okay, which is probably it will make an inverse pullback. Okay, which is kind of dangerous in my opinion. But the things that if you look into here, why I still want to go for it, okay, if I've got chance, okay, is that this bar over here, okay, this bar over here. Okay. Now, in one of the training section, right, we talk about gap, we talk about climactic volume. Okay, how to read climactic volume. So climactic volume, the information from the climactic volume actually come later on. Okay, anyone here still remember? Type of A for me if you attend the class, let me know. Kenneth, Nick, Chris, Yo. Okay, if you are members, let me know if you have attended the section in class. Like I said, if you attended some of my weekly member training, if you still feel a bit confusing, not sure what to do, just let me know, okay? Because probably I will change the way that I deliver the message, or maybe I will give you more example, right? So now this kind of chart setups is very similar with UEMS. Okay, remember we talked about UEMS a few months ago. The stock just break out. My news, okay, keep going up, right? My news is in a very slow pace, which is I like it, to be frank. Like UEMS, a bit boring already, so but my news is more stable and going up slowly, right? SP Satya, I think Eco, if not mistaken, GDEX. Okay, all this actually come with this kind of volume. Now, like I say, once you see this volume, the information, the crucial information, come in later on. Okay, not in the bar itself. Now, think this way, right? If this candle here got more seller, technically what happened? Okay, the subsequent bar will continue to go lower. Okay, but if the bar hold, okay, and it comes with sound strength. Okay, what it means by sound strength? Okay, green pentagon, yes, more of them. The next thing is that line change. Okay, the bar closes above. Okay, so now this means that the background come with more buyer, not seller anymore. Okay, and this will telling us that this candle here, okay, this candle here actually got more buyer, not seller. Okay, is this confusing? I'm sorry. Type of A if you understand, type of B if you don't understand. Okay, next say COB. Yes, it's like a change of trend, change of behavior, you can say that, right? So again, each of these volume, especially like, a spike in volume is very important, okay, for you to process the information, okay? Now, if example like here, the other one is here, right? Okay, this bar here, okay? Now, up bar, high volume, technically you thought that, yeah, this one is going to go up, but what happened next is that the bar actually closed lower and trading below, okay? And then now you know that this bar here actually got more seller, not buyer. Okay, and if you notice subsequently red pentagon and we got sell off. Okay, so which means that yes, this bar got sellers, not buyer. Okay, so opposite of this concept is here, right? High volume, but the price didn't go lower, and subsequently it got sell strength, pushing it back. Okay, pushing it back. Okay, I got no much response. Type A, yes, okay, if you understand. Okay, type A, yes, if you understand. Type B, no. Okay, again, like I said, members, it's very important for you to give me some feedback so that, for the upcoming weekly trainings, I know that, how should I deliver my presentation? Okay, should I go for more so-called theory based or the, case study based? Okay, now what happens is, after the background, everything happening over here, we want to look for more sound strength. Okay, thank you, right? Thank you. So here, line change, high volume, good sign. Spring NS, nice support, good sign. Okay, so again, on the closing on Friday, low volume, spread bar. Okay, so again, I said, but if you look into overall background here, I still not so convinced that they will break further on the resistance, but I think this is a nice range for me to at least consider, right? Maybe like 10%, somewhere in between. Okay, I want to make some quick profit, hit resistance, then I take partial profit to see if I got chance to hold until here or not. Okay, this is the next resistance. If no, then it's okay, it's fine. Okay, I just want to exit and look for the other trade. Okay, now, so here will be your first target, and here will be your second targets. Okay, thank you, Yo, thank you, Kenneth, and thank you, Chris. Okay, so again, if you're not sure where you should look for, okay, go to VSA 360. We type evergreen. Okay, like I say, recently very, very interesting, most of the counters, but it's not about the counters. It's not about which counter can break out first. Okay, of course it's very important, but most important is that I think you all should know where to look for, how to plan your trades properly, and of course manage your portfolio properly. Okay, so here you actually give a very nice risk-to-reward ratio. Okay, 4.6 against 1, fantastic. So your S1, which is your support one, your risk technically is around 7% from the current price. Okay, 7% from the current price. So R1 and R2, for R1 is also 6%, so 1 against 1. Okay, but for R2 is almost 28%. So again, like I say, I'm trying to aim for R2. Of course, R1, once it hit, I'll take some partial profit. Okay, and then let's say the rest 50%, I'll try to see whether it can go up further or not. Okay, I'm doing this for most of my counters. If I'm following my CYL, my Tolanda, Chin Hin, I'm doing the same things. Okay, 50%, sorry, first TP hit 30 to 50%. Okay, then the rest I see whether it can go up further or not. Okay, now if you look into here, okay, nice NS, spring, ideal approach. Okay, like I say, ideal approach is the area that gives you a pullback area. Okay, a low risk area. Okay, so use the area to plan out your trades. Okay, again, not doing any buy call. So okay, well, there's a second one for today. Let's look into the other three. Okay, Altronic. Altronic towards the end, it move up a bit, move up a bit. Because I still remember when I shared with member that time, the price is still hanging around here. Okay, let me zoom in a little bit so you can see clearer. Okay, the price is still like hanging somewhere around here, somewhere around here. But towards the end of the closing, it pushed up a bit. Okay, I think Tanko also the same things. Okay, Tanko, when I share with members, there are still, you know, a small down bar, but at the end they try to push up higher. Okay, so well, both are very the same. Okay, so I just cover one. You can apply back to Tanko later on. So here now, interesting for Altronic is that actually Altronic chart setup wise, yes, confirmation or change of trend, but resistance still got sellers. Okay, but one good thing about Altronic is that luckily the range is big for you to trade. Okay, now if you look into here, previously we got tons of NS. Okay, just gonna draw this line. Okay, so that's why NS is a very nice signals for you to use the support. Okay, you buy NS, okay, just that the risk is low. Okay, but just sometimes it's a bit boring. So here, spring NS, okay, and then they break lower, make a shakeout, okay, pushing back. Okay, again, series of low volume, high volumes coming back. Okay, now this one, you know, this is the volume that, you know, I'm interested with, because I like to see price push back, drop, volumes coming back, low volume. Now seems like volume coming back slowly again. Okay, it's not the big volume yet at the moment, but slowly coming back. Okay, now like I said, if you zoom in, for me, I just want to trade short term for Altronic. If you zoom in very closely here, actually here got a problems. Okay, here got a problems. Okay, what is the problems? This bar. Okay, now this bar contains sellers. Okay, so that's why when they line change break up, they fail to make a follow through. They push it back. Okay, the time I'm still watching. Okay, because I want to see whether it will fail or come back. Okay, but it come back nicely. Okay, come back nicely. Okay, holding well, push it here, drop with low volume, holding well 2040s, and recently we got NS. Okay, like I said, 4 things to monitor: pullback, shakeout, NS, COC. Okay, this one pullback with NS. All right, so yes, both to monitor. So like I say here, if you really want to enter 58 to the resistance, okay, still got around 19%. Okay, 19%. Now this one similar like RL. Okay, RL also coming back. Okay, RL also coming back now, but this one is a bit close to resistance. That's why I don't really want to mention. Okay, if you're following the shakeout, okay, still holding. Yeah, we can try to see whether it can hit this resistance or not. So here, okay, line change. Now here, similar, right? It dropped, volume increasing. Okay, similar like Altronic. So that's the problems. Okay, so whenever you see this, you want to see shakeout. No shakeout, I don't go for the trades. Okay, so that's why they make a shakeout, pushing back, we test successfully, slowly go to resistance. Okay, I'll share with you one more example. Okay, some of the chart, it didn't make a shakeout, it go lower. Okay, it go lower. Okay, so here, Okay, this is like a period support, right? Push, up thrust. Now here's more obvious one, up thrust. Okay, so the drop, I thought here going to make a shakeout already, but it didn't complete the shakeout. Price go lower. Okay, so it's very dangerous. Okay, so that's why RL, Ultronic, I think that their sound slowly coming back, but you want to watch out again. Okay, is there any uptrust near resistance or not? Okay, so if let's say yes, again, good to take some partial profit. All right. So okay, now let's go to the number 4 counters here we have today. I'll go Olga Bio. Now for today's section, I'll go a bit slow. I go a bit detailed. Okay, I covered less counters. I go into detail because I think it's technically it's almost the same things. Okay, if you look into the stock that we're looking into today, it's almost the same. Okay, for example here, Argo Bio, right here we got gap, like a small gap here. Okay, it's a small gap, right? So it actually dropped below this gap area, retest. Okay, so this is an area that I'm not interested because sometimes it can go lower, right? But pushing back, okay, now here I'm interested. Okay, but volume is not that great. Okay, that's why Argo Bio is good to monitor, but probably it's not my main priority. Okay, again, I got 20 over counters. Okay, just example, tomorrow I will queue for my KGB. Okay, but let's say KGB break. Okay, 5%, 8%, 10%. Okay, technically I don't chase anymore. Okay, I will go for my second, third, fourth option. Okay, which is like Argo Bio, SWS Cap, counters are Rand Hill. I think it's pretty good too. I think Haptic is really good too. Now this is a few counters that you can go for it. Okay, so you don't need to chase. Okay, in this case here. So Argo Bio background with a shake-up. Okay, they're pushing back, but just the one things that is not my priority because of the volume. Okay, now I want to share with you this type of setup because I want you to differentiate, which one you should prioritize, which one you should not. Okay, not to say they got no chance, but sometimes that if let's say given a choice, we prefer to have higher volume break. Okay, so that it shows that they got more so-called interest or power in the backgrounds there. Okay, now there's quick one for Argo Bio. Hopefully it got a chance to retest on this area here, the resistance area here. So again, for members, make sure you go for this page. Okay, if you want to find out where's the trading plan, support, resistance, somehow the area that you want to enter or not, you go for here. Okay, so you can sort according to 1 month because it's a new IPO counters. So again, ideal approach is this level. This is your stop loss area. Okay, if let's say drop here, you cut. Okay, but you have to know how many percent you're taking, right? The risk. Okay, if you think that this 8%, 10% is too much for me, move to others. Right, so ideal approach is the area that it makes a pullback, low risk area. Okay, for you to look into. Okay, so now last one I think is SWS cap. Okay, SWS cap like KGB and Haptech also. I will focus. Okay, I'll focus. Okay, now let me show you why. Because okay, first of all, if you zoom out, okay, if you put weekly chart, okay, most of the time I like to see there is a obvious volume coming in. Okay, if you notice this part here, obvious volume. Okay, so kind of like tells me that something's going on. Okay, in this part over here. So I zoom in daily chart. Okay, a few things again. I saw it. Okay, it's that first shakeout. Okay, I like shakeout. So high volume pushing back. Too bad they failed to make a follow through on the first shakeout. Drop second small one, and they're trying to push him back again. Not trying to push back, they actually push back already. Okay, so Friday closing is very nice. Okay, I can't satisfied. Volume is not that high. Okay, now there's a difference between SWS cap and Olga Bio. Now, if you realize Olga Bio also they have low volume, right? They're pushing back with low volume. Okay, but for SWS cap, I prefer more on SWS cap, even though it's low volume, because the background here actually completed once already. Okay, so the second one, the volume is lower, probably because of why the seller is reducing. Okay, because this volume for me is pretty good. Okay, so that's why I feel more comfortable. Okay, you know what's the difference, right, between Olga Bio and SWS cap? Because yes, even though the shakeout completed here low volume, but because the background is so much different. Okay, it's so much different. Okay, so again, one of the few counters that I will probably monitor very, very closely. Okay, now the other one I didn't put into my list also. Okay, you can actually just try to check out. I haven't really make a small pullbacks there. Okay, but again, I have to admit, I actually missed this pullback here. This is a very low volume areas, very nice, but I just don't know why I didn't really focus on HealthTech or others, so-called the steel counters or metal counters that time. Okay, but closing is pretty good. Okay, volume increasing, so which is, I think they got a chance to retest higher, hopefully. Okay, if you look into the background overall volume, sorry, there's a shake in the background, pushing it back with high volume. Okay, again, this is a few things that usually we want to look into whenever there's a completion, okay, in the shakeout. Okay, so there's a quick one in some of the the 5 counters that I want to share with today. Now again, if you like what we do so far, what I share so far, appreciate, okay, if you can help me to click the like buttons or help me to share this out. Okay, now probably I got some times here. I will look into any question you have for me. I think Adam looking for the next. Probably I'll answer 1 or 2 questions before I close. Hopefully tomorrow market continue to be good. Well, with the new PM10, right? We got this new government. Hopefully, like I say, it will go into 1580, as forecast by Rakuten. Okay, now the next. Okay, Adam, not sure you are looking for short term or long term. For me, the next somehow is game over already. Okay, now if you're looking for short term opportunity to trade, probably yes. Okay, but based on this candle here, I think is a bit dangerous to look into because this is a super downward high volume. Okay, so here looks like I at first I thought that you're going to make an inverse pullback, okay, and hit here, but closing on Friday is not a fantastic. Okay, so if you look into hourly chart here, turn back to red pentagon. Okay, turn back to red pentagon. Okay, now for members, if you want to look for short term for counter like DNext, I advise that open up hourly chart, look for high volume, look for green pentagon. If not, avoid. Okay, because there's plenty of counter for us to choose, right? So you try to don't go against the trend, right? Okay, counters like Plantation is doing a very nice setups. Technology is pretty good. Okay, technology is pretty good. Like I shared with API, even like Penta, one of my favorites. Okay, if you notice here, actually the setup is pretty much the same. Okay, that's why I don't want to cover long stop, but I want to go into details. Okay, so that you know how to identify. So here, NS, shakeout. Okay, line change, pullback, break. Okay, very much the same. Okay, like all the counters there. Okay, so I don't know, like counters like Evergreen, they are still somewhere around here. Hopefully they got a chance to break. Okay, SWS cap, they are still somewhere around here. Hopefully they can break. Or maybe counters like Randhill. Okay, they got a chance to break too. Okay, now with this, thank you for joining me in this section here. Like I said, if you enjoy what we do so far, if you like what Trade Real Estate do, okay, do remember to help us to click the like button in this video here. For us, Telegram and TikTok, I do regular updates on TikToks. If you want to know more what is the latest stock having a nice setups, you can follow me over there. Okay, so with this, thank you, and I'll see you again in the next video.